That yesterday went really well. I'm hoping today can go just as smoothly. If your friends are not watching the instructional video, please have them watch the instructional video. Remind them that the Zoom link is there. I have it open the whole class period. If you have clarifications, if you have questions, if you need to ask me something, if the whole class has a problem and you need to come check with me, please use the Zoom link. That's why it's there. I'm dedicated to you guys at that moment. We're going to start today with a couple of daily language review sentences. As usual, put them in your composition notebook, get your heading correctly, do that practice. I'm gonna double down on why the practice of daily language review is so important. I graded your essays, all right, and it's very obvious that a lot of you might be able to do the daily language review, but you're struggling to write complete sentences on your own. So when you're working with daily language review, don't see it as just a time waster. Okay, it's meant to get you better at writing complete sentences, at punctuating sentences correctly, at spelling correctly, at capitalizing correctly. All right, because I saw a lot of those mistakes in your essays that I thought we were better than. All right, so if we're not at that point, use daily language review as that practice. When we're done with daily language review, we're going to work on an assignment called the coordination scavenger hunt. Remember, your coordination test is going to be tomorrow, Friday. So what we're going to do is we're going to find some examples of coordination in the wild. Remember, with coordination, we take one independent clause, we join it to another independent clause. We got a couple ways that we learned how to do that. One is really simple, it's a semicolon. Okay, the other way is to use those coordinating conjunctions, fanboys words. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. We use a comma and a fanboys word. But we only need that comma when we're we're joining two independent clauses. So what we're doing today is we're going to find examples of coordination in the wild. All right, and when I say in the wild, I'm letting you choose. You guys might get to see my dog show up again for the video. When I say in the wild, I'm letting you choose where you are finding these. So if you're a sports person, go to ESPN. If you're a news person, go to your favorite news site, okay? If you like fashion, go to a fashion website. Go somewhere where you can find text, okay? You can find articles, essays, short stories, whatever you like to read, okay? And find examples of coordination in the wild. So what I'm looking for, and I'll highlight it here, 5 examples of sentences with coordinating conjunctions, okay? So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. But remember, it has to be coordination. So don't have a sentence that says, the man ran down the street and up the alley, okay? Because up the alley is not a complete sentence. So find examples of actual coordination that use punctuation correctly and that use a fanboys word. Give me 5 of those examples here, all right? At the bottom, you're going to find 3 examples of sentences that correctly use a semicolon. Now, here's a little bit of a hack. A lot of news websites and publications don't use semicolons correctly. So just because there's a semicolon doesn't mean it's used correctly. You have to be smarter than the person writing the article. If there is a semicolon that joins 2 independent clauses, then you're going to put one of those here. Okay? But you might have a writer who used the semicolon incorrectly. I don't want you to use that. All right? Find one where it's used correctly. Another little cheat that you might be able to use is use the find function, Control F, to find some of the semicolons, the coordinated conjunctions, your fanboys words. All right. So give me 5 examples of fanboys words used correctly that join independent clauses. Give me 3 examples of semicolon sentences that join independent clauses. All right. We can do this. I have so much faith in the world. When you're done with that, we're going to kick over in your consumable. We are going to read our next short story. It is called The Censors. Okay, this one's really, really good. I like this one a bunch, but you got to remember, this is under the umbrella of the struggle for freedom. Okay, pardon me. So one of the things that you got to keep in the back of your head while you're reading this short story, and it's fiction, is drawn from what it means to be oppressed. Okay, and what oppression looks like sometimes. And I want you to remember that when we read Once Upon a Time, a lot of you had this like, what the heck just happened reaction, okay? And you might have a what the heck just happened reaction to The Censors as well. And if that's the case, remember what we did with Once Upon a Time. Okay, this seems weird. What do you think, what is the author trying to get me to think about? All right? It's very likely that Juan, our protagonist, is going to make decisions that you might not make. And you might go, well, Juan is an idiot, okay? He's stupid, he's making stupid decisions. But what I want you to do is I want you to put yourself in Juan's position, And I want you to think about the nature of his world, the nature of his job, and why he might do the things that he does. Because sometimes we tend to overlook people's rationale. Sometimes if the rationale doesn't make sense, we reject it immediately instead of trying to seek to understand that person's rationale. So as you're reading this piece of fiction, think about Juan's motivations. Think about Juan, why he might be driven to do the things that he does, and think about that oppression, okay, that he might be fighting back against or not fighting back against. But either way, he's suffering under the oppression. As you're reading, I do want you to annotate. We've been practicing annotation. Mark it up, highlight it, question marks, underline, circles, stars, exclamation points, whatever you got to do to interact with that text so you can understand it a little bit better. That's going to be really important because on Friday, we are going to not only take our coordination test, but we're going to take the online selection test for the sensors as well. It's open book. So the more that you have marked up, the more that you have highlighted, the more that you've interacted with that text, the more likely you are to be successful on the online selection test. So make sure that you do your best to try to really interact and engage with the sensors. If you get done with that, I really don't have anything else for you for the day. I would say practice your coordination, go back to GimKit and do your coordination GimKit again, so you're ready for the test on Friday. Remember, I'm here on the Zoom. If you guys need something, use the Zoom link. Get a hold of me. Hop on. Hey, Mr. Slover, I'm really struggling with this the sensors. Whatever it is, that's fine. I'm here to help. So that's all I have for today. If you need to reach out via email, hop on the Zoom. It's all available for you. I'm here to help you guys. So all's good on my end. We'll check in with you tomorrow.